You want to look at your Stripe account and be like, oh shit, I just made 5K today. Cool. You have a standard for yourself, and right now you're not meeting it. And I think that's really sad, but that changes the moment you say yes to coming in and working with me. That standard raises, everything in your life begins to elevate along with your bank account because you're going to be clear and strategic about the moves that you make. What's up, Savages? You're listening to the Strategies of a Savage CEO podcast. I'm your host, Demi, and if you don't know me yet, it is no wonder you're not making the sales that you want to be making in your business, but that's about to fucking change. I've scaled my business to almost 8 figures in revenue over the past few years, and I've helped thousands of women make the money they deserve. Not through fluffy things like manifestation or energy work, but through real, non-BS money-making strategies that drive insane results. I'm talking things like crafting powerful content rooted in actual human psychology so that you know every single time you post it's going to convert. I'm talking about designing irresistible offers and building recurring revenue streams in your business structure. I'm talking about implementing real systems that actually scale your business into a 7-figure brand. It is time for you to go full savage mode with your business strategy to truly get the results you not only want, but deserve. So let's get into the episode. Welcome back to another episode of Strategies of a Savage CEO. We are celebrating one of my private clients, Kierra, today, who just celebrated a $91,000 cash month and has built her revenue to $50,000 in monthly reoccurring. I am so fucking proud of this woman. We have been working together for a while. She's had multiple $100,000. She even had $150,000 cash month while we've been working together. And she has just consistently slayed her income month over month. But one of the things that we have been heavily working towards is her building her MRR. She gets a lot of pay in full clients. Like last month, she had a $20,000 pay in full that really boosts her revenue for those high cash months. But what we've been really working on is building her MRR so she can consistently have $100,000 cash months. And she has now built it up to $50,000 in monthly recurring revenue. And that is so fucking sexy because every single month now, her bottom line is making $50,000 a month. Can you say the same? And if not, why the fuck are you not working with me? If you can't say that you don't have $50,000 a month in recurring revenue, don't know where you are. Where you at, Loca? You need to be in my world, okay? You need to be working with me in a closer proximity standpoint because $50,000 a month in recurring revenue as her bottom line is fucking amazing. Whether she launches an offer or not, whether she's on Instagram selling or offline, spending time with her hubby and her daughter, she is going to make $50,000 every single month. When she hired me, she was making $30,000 months. But it felt like she was starting from literally ground zero every 30 days. She had mostly pay in fulls, right? This is still something that we work towards. She had mostly pay in fulls. She was constantly pushing launches. Burnout literally creeping in. She had so many one-on-one calls on her calendar. In just one call with me, I'm just going to actually say this before we continue. In just one call with me, I changed her entire business. The first call that we had ever been on together when she first hired me. She came in and she showed me, we went through the structure of her offers and I was like, this shit has got to go. And we changed her offer suite literally that day. And she ended up having a $60,000 launch the next month and cut her call time in half. And that was just the first 30 days with me, right? But anyways, before she hired me, she was always just wondering what's next. She was feeling insecure about her monthly cash. She always had to be pushing to try to reach $30,000 every single month. And that just was not the vibe that she was looking for. She wanted something that was sustainable. She wanted a business that felt like she could take a day off and still make money. And now $90,000 months are easy for her. Right? She's had many 100K cash months. She's had $150,000 cash month, but we now have prioritized that recurring revenue. We've been building it and stacking it month over month. Now she's at $50,000 months minimum. Right? So what did we focus on to actually build her to $50,000 months in recurring and have her create multiple $100,000 plus cash months? The first thing, like I said, we cleaned up the offer suite. Repositioned it, restructured everything, no more random offers. Her client journey was so unbelievably clear now. It flows, it upgrades, it's all natural, and every offer leads to the next. Plus, she now has offers where everything is funneling behind the scenes And she never has to go a single day without making a sale. Okay. Not a single day. She makes money every single day. And I love it because we're in Voxer together and she'll just like message me. She'll be like, oh yeah, she'll like send me a picture. She's like, oh yeah, I'm just like having my coffee and like this much sales have come in. And I'm like, excellent. We love that. Right. But that was work to get her to that point. Like I said, that first launch, she made $60,000 and that was just 30 days of working with me. And from there, she's gone off to make hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s from that same program that we restructured, right? That has now become her signature staple program, right? So we also had to build that recurring revenue into her business model. So she had a lot of painfuls because she was using things like Klarna, she was using, and that's fine, right? Especially when you can manage your money, that's fine. But she really didn't have a way to create that recurring revenue. So we had to build that, right? We had to look at her membership. We looked at her high ticket offers. We looked at how she was actually going to be building and from her high ticket offers for recurring revenue, right? So now she has all of this on an automated funnel, which for her recurring revenue, so she doesn't have to worry about sending out invoices, et cetera, every single month, right? We then had to tighten her content and her positioning and her messaging. Obviously, you guys hear me talk about this all the time. This is like honestly between offer suite, pricing capacity, messaging, and content is like that's what's up there of making you create consistent cash in your business. So we turned her into like from just another coach online, right? To actually being the authority, clear voice, bold positioning, the content that brings in high level buyers who are ready to pay now. We had to really shift her ideal client's perspective and mindset and in her audience. And when we started changing that messaging, she started having clients that come in and pay her $20,000 in full, right? She started having clients that were an easy yes to her multi-5-figure offers. Okay. Then we had to do strategic launch stacking. So every single month I asked her, okay, how does this actually stack to the next thing? How does this stack your cash? So we were very strategic and intentional around cash stacking every single month so she could have $50,000 in MRR. Right? We planned her year around compounding the cash flow, not just cash injections. And now all of her launches are not just hype, but they actually build her they actually build her MRR baseline higher every single time. She also doesn't have to launch now because we built so much brand awareness and offer awareness. She doesn't have to launch now to actually have these high ticket sales come in on a daily basis, right? And then of course we had to like really step her into those CEO level boundaries in that leadership. So no more overgiving, no more burnout, no more like people pleasing. We just built this like absolute cash machine for her business. And now she runs it and the business doesn't run her anymore. Okay. She's a mom. She's a wife. She has 2 businesses. She has a lot on her plate. She cannot be on one-on-one calls all the time. Right. So we had to build her a true business system that prioritized real scaling for her, right? That works because she has mastered foundations of real business and doesn't run off vibes and energy alone. So I want you to hear me when I say this, because I'm going to say this really loud and listen. Her results came from her ability to move. I'm telling you right now. She came to me at a good place in business. Awesome. Amazing. Love that for her. $30,000 months, but it didn't feel good for her. The way that she was creating these months did not feel good. We had to change that. But I remember the day that she reached out to hire me. I knew she was going to be successful. I knew she was like, she wanted $100,000 months. That was in her message. She's like, I want to go here. I know that I can crack the quote unquote code, is what she said. I said, bet, let's fucking go. And the conversation literally looked like this. It was like, hey, she was like, I want to get to 100K cash months. I want to stack my MRR. I know I need strategic support. I'm currently making $30,000 a month, but it doesn't feel good. Blah, blah, blah. She gave me all the things, right? I said, amazing. I got you. The investment for a private mentorship is X for X months. She was like, amazing. What's the payment plan options? It's exactly what I need. Let's do it. Boom. She was in. Literally 3 days later, I think we were on a call. That next month, she made $60,000 and cut her call time in half. I'm just saying. But the way that she moves makes such a difference to the results that she creates for herself. And not only just in how she invested, but how she takes action and implements my mentorship. Literally, I will plug in with her in the morning and I'll give her what she should be posting about today or whatever. She plugs in and asks a question about sales or whatever question it is. My mentorship is executed on within minutes of me sending her what to do. And she responds back then. It's like, hey, done. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, I made a sale. And I'm like, oh, cool. She's like, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. She's like, keep me on forever. I'm like, absolutely. I'm never letting you go. Because it just is accelerated cash flow. When you work with me, Oh my God, we just have so much fun making money. We literally, you have the exact strategies, you know exactly what to do for sales. And if you can execute like a motherfucker like she does, there's no way you will not create $100,000 months in your business, right? But like I said, when she invested, it was like a 10-minute conversation. She was in, invoice paid, ready to go, no delays, no mindset drama. She just moved, right? And that's exactly why 90K months, $150,000 months, right, are her normal. She's a leader. She moves the way she wants her clients to. She sets the tone and standard for the results in her life. Like she is a complete embodiment. It is time you uncap yourself. It is time you lead yourself and write a bigger story for yourself and you start moving like I know that you're meant to. It is time you finally get the clarity and strategic support you know you need to scale. And that's why you need to be working with me. Like, I am not going to let you sit in your shit. I am going to show you exactly what you need to be doing for sales. I am going to show you exactly what to be posting, how to position your brand, exactly what your offer suite needs to look like, what your pricing, your capacity, everything that you need to create the holy fuck, I'm blown away results that you want comes after you hire me, right? You're already making good money in your business, but good and average results are so boring for you and you are so ready to explode because you know that you can. You want that bigger life. You want to look at your Stripe account and be like, oh shit, I just made 5K today. Cool. You have a standard for yourself, and right now you're not meeting it. And I think that's really sad, but that changes the moment you say yes to coming in and working with me. That standard raises, everything in your life begins to elevate along with your bank account because you're going to be clear and strategic about the moves that you make. And this is what unlocks savage revenue. So if you come into my DMs on Instagram and you DM me Mastermind, we're going to have a conversation back and forth. Okay. And I'm going to talk to you about where you're currently at. I'm going to ask you what your goals are. We're going to go back and forth. I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm going to do with you and your business over the course of 6 months in one of my masterminds. And once you join, you're never going to want to leave. You're going to be thanking yourself for the best investment that you've ever made in your business, in your life, because everything will change from you from that point on.